Welcome to Tra le Luci. We are pleased to introduce you our guests, Laila Alsheik and Robi Damelin, members of Parents Circle Families Forum. PCFF is an organization made of Israeli and Palestinian who have lost an immediate family member to the conflict, seeking for reconciliation.
First of all, thank you both of you, Laila Alsheik and Robi Damelin. Thank you really to being here with us. As you know, we prepared some questions here about the logic of peace and the problem that is happening in the world. So everything is all right. We can start. Okay. The first question is, from September 22nd to 24th, the meeting Imagining Peace, promoted by Comunità di Sant'Egidio, took place in Paris. The meeting gathered thousands of people from various cultures and faiths with the objective of the fairer and the most peaceful world. We live in a time when public culture seems to refuse any references to the theme of peace. Peace has got out of the contemporary horizon. So do we need to imagine it? Do we need to think about it? Not to merely surrender to the logic of weapons.
Me? You know, it's so strange. I'm thinking about the world in general. So you have Sudan. 18 million people are on the brink of starvation. 8 million people are misplaced. You have the Ukraine, but now the Ukraine is not in fashion anymore. You have the Congo, you have Ethiopia, all of these terrible, terrible wars. Why is it only Israel and Palestine that are on the map now? That worries me, because I think that I didn't see any demonstrations about Sudan or any demonstrations about any of these other places. Yes, there were in the beginning support for Ukraine, but there wasn't an anti-Russian demonstration. This is an illustration of taking sides. I want to be pro-Israel and she wants to be pro-Palestine, and we import the conflict into your country, and that creates anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. I don't think that's really what you want, but that is a consequence of these actions. You saw that yesterday in Rome. There were all these demonstrations, but there were no Palestinians there. So what, the Italians are taking the casus belli, and how are they helping?
The second question is, throughout the ongoing wars, religious leaders don't evade to appeal to identifying with the nation at war. Now, can we prevent faiths from promoting or legitimizing the conflict?
If you think about, or if we want to talk about leaders, I think they don't care about religion, they don't care about anything. They even didn't think about us. They just think about what they want. And if they want to make peace, or if they want to make war, they will never came to ask both of us.
Give him that poem. That's a beautiful answer.
Okay. So there's a poem in Arabic for Afro-Palestinian called Mahmoud Darwish, and he said, "The war will end, the leader will shake their hands, but that mother will be waiting for her son, and that woman will be waiting for her husband, and those children will be waiting for their father. I don't know who stole the land, but I know who paid the price. And we are the people who pay the price."
Thank you very much. Okay, the third question is, Today, there are two wars going on in Ukraine and Middle East. People who ask for working for peace and not for an extension of the war were accused of being Putinist or anti-Israeli. Why is pacifism mocked today? Why is it considered unworkable?
You know, it's very easy not to compromise if you live in Rome, right? And probably, if we didn't have the Iron Dome, I wouldn't be here. There were many, many rockets outside my house, and maybe Laila also wouldn't be here because she also had rockets. So fortunately, there's something called the Iron Dome. It's terribly easy to judge. You know, the whole world have become major experts on the Middle East. I think if you ask 90% of the people around you to find Palestine and Israel on a map, I'm not sure they can. And I'm not sure they know what they're talking about when they talk about the river to the sea. So I wish, firstly, that people would understand. For instance, I say, free the man who killed my son, if that will bring back a hostage. That is called the sanctity of human life.
And those rockets will never recognize if you are Palestinian or Israeli, and many killed by mistake, let's say it, when they even when
the Iranians.
The Iranian, when they send the rockets, it fell down in Jordan, Palestine, and Israel.
And killed a Palestinian.
Yes.
The last question is, it's from the book before the book of you, is how can we build peace from the bottom up?
The most important thing and we work in is reconciliation. Reconciliation for us is so important. If we are the people who suffered daily from this occupation could stand side by side and put our effort to end this, everything could be possible. We know this is not easy, but we should do that. And when we talk about reconciliation, that didn't mean that we agree about everything. But the most important thing that we respect each other, we understand each other, even if we still have argue about anything.
Yes, of course, I think that peace will start from the bottom up, but it also has to come from the politicians. And the vision of this organization is to create a framework for a reconciliation process to be an integral part of any future political peace agreement. And all kinds of stuff on the White House lawn, but the people were never prepared. And so all the work of the Parent Circle is on the ground to teach people what is reconciliation, to teach them the possibility of not loving each other. You know, that's very nice if that happens. But the respect that Laila is talking about and the justice that has to happen, there is no complete justice. Unfortunately, it's usually just us. So if we look at that and if we understand, for instance, if you took your classroom, I'm sure there are some kids that are more popular than others, right? And if you sat in a circle and each child here would tell their personal story, you would be amazed what will happen to making that classroom whole. Because people, when they tell their personal story, that's the work that we are doing all over. And that's a very important equation in learning how to begin a conversation and how to listen with empathy, even if you don't agree.
Thank you so much again, Laila Alsheik and Robi Damelin.
Thank you.